What you are about to watch is for entertainment purposes only and does not constitute any type of advice. Always question the validity of what you see and what you hear. Viewer discretion is advised.
I have good news and bad news today. The bad news is that this is the last of our classes here at Tyranny University. The good news is that we plan to create content in regards to our viewers' questions, looking at the request of what you want to see next, and begin to create case study series based on these classes that you have taken. Consider this sort of your associate's degree. Your bachelor's in tyranny will be composed on the core applications of tyranny and a major. We haven't decided what the majors will be, but there will be 3 different ones. The master's level will be composed of Freedom 320, Market Dominion and Strategy 560, under the code MDS 560, Family and Relationships 540, under the code KNW 540, and the opportunity to pick from a course from 3 concentrations, which we will announce later. At this point in time, the bachelor's and master's level are not available yet. We only have the associate's level in tyrannical awareness. All you have to do is watch all of our YouTube videos, which are free, then purchase access to the quiz. Once you pass the quiz, you will receive a certificate of completion. Then you make a donation for $45 or more and send us the certificate with the name that you want your degree on. Your donation not only grants you access to your associates in tyrannical awareness, but you also get to help us create more content and continue to provide knowledge and entertainment at a low cost with our classes and no cost here on this channel. So what are you supposed to do with these accredited degrees, you may say? You're forgetting something very important, which is that knowledge, true knowledge, does not need to be validated. It helps you understand, learn, and capture opportunities. Most schools with their degrees only teach you how to follow something as the norm, accept what life has given you without taking any action. In other words, it makes you a perfect little working ant. Sometimes the jobs you land, you could have landed them without those useless degrees. Our knowledge teaches you a very important skill, which is to question things, take nothing at face value, and to realize and accept that not everything you are told is true. We go as far to even invite you to question what we're teaching you. As far as I know, no other program is doing that. Plus, you can imagine your girlfriend or boyfriend's face when you show them your degree and they say, "That thing is worth nothing," and you respond, "It is much more useful than your general studies or sociology degree." It will be priceless to see the realization on their face. Our novelty degrees will not lead you to work at a coffee shop upon graduation because you will know that you don't need a degree to work in a coffee shop. Instead, you will understand more about how the world works and your decisions will change. You may even end up giving Awaken ABA a chance and attend their licensing program that not only teaches you how to shift your thought process and gain a new level of consciousness, they can actually help you become the licensed expert in the field, which has got the world going crazy right now. Forget buying expensive nootropics that do much less than coffee does. These guys will show you the path with science-backed evidence. But enough of this shocking announcement. Let's jump into our last lesson for the series, which is the practice of lobbying as a new economical strategy. We see, in order to maintain a world of working force, there has to be chaos. Chaos is the mother of all order. Without chaos, there is no opportunity to rearrange into order. This is given. Now, let me share with you what I mean. If everything in life was perfect harmony, and if nothing needed to be done or resolved, we would either be in eternal paradise or it will be absorbed into stillness. This means that if everything reaches a point of perfection, time will have to stop so that the perfection will remain in that state. It sounds a bit strange that an ideology of perception in physics will require absolute stillness in order to sustain itself. However, we understand that homeostasis in nature looks for chaos in order to retreat back into harmony of function. The chaos comes from energy expenditure, which is divided either in potential energy or kinetic energy. Potential energy is in the form of chemical, mechanical, nuclear, and gravitational. Kinetic energy is composed of radiant, thermal, motion, auditory, and electrical energy. The human body works mostly on chemical energy, even though it assimilates mechanical and motion, abides by gravitational rules, emits thermal and electrical energy, and can emit auditory energy as well. I bet you didn't know that we were going to get into physics, but here we are. Why is this important anyway? It is important because we are trying to address chaos. Chaos is the result of energy expenditure. Every effort that is made in our realm of existence is composed of effort, which is the output of energy expenditure. Effort makes an arrangement of systems. For example, someone steals your new Honda Civic. It took a level of effort to strategize the hijack of your car, time the opportunity, and even carry out the task. At the very cognitive level, there is a neurological transmission of information, which relies on the thief being able to compute it appropriately. Even stupidity and delusion take energy to conjure. I am talking in terms of human physiology and how physics apply here. Many people think that just because they wish something, it will shift their reality. The truth is that you don't choose your reality directly by wishing. That is just a stupid idea to get you to buy self-help books. How it actually works is that you developing an interest, for example, finding a better job, your attention is shifted in the direction of different opportunities. You may begin to pay attention to things that you didn't pay attention to before, such a job post on LinkedIn, and eventually you apply for several jobs and then land a better job. Efforts to get you in the right direction is the output of the energy you spend to make such effort. If you are so sick that you can't get out of bed, your ability to output effort is greatly reduced. So what the hell does this have to do with lobbying? Be patient, we will get there. Now that we got that idea of energy and effort out of the way, we can see that your vehicle getting stolen was the effort of some selfish thief wanting to profit from selling your vehicle for parts. That initiates a stage for chaos because now you must call the police and make the police report, you must call the insurance to make a claim, you may have missed work to deal with those issues. The police may eventually find your car with no engine, transmission, or other parts missing, and on top of it, ask you to pay for the towing. You see how fast everything became chaotic? Now your insurance may pay out of the cost of the car, you may get another card or get over the incident going back to work and live your life as usual. You see the return to homeostasis. The reason you return to that stage of normality of your life is that if you didn't, you probably wouldn't live long. Chaos creates a high expenditure of energy in order to return to order. There are systems profiting from chaos. Governments create rules, criminals and grifters benefit from breaking those rules because by circumventing those systems, they can get something for much less, avoid paying taxes, or make profit from something that is not legal to profit. On the other hand, government benefits from those criminals and grifters because now they have someone to find, prosecute, set new policies with tougher reinforcement, and if possible, set them in display as an example of what happens if anyone challenges you. This tendency of creating chaos and resolution sets a stage of opportunity for the labor force to continue to flow, and therefore the economy is able to sustain itself. This is the reason why many products are created with a point of obsolescence in mind, so that a moment of chaos will ensue and the product will have to be replaced at an approximate point in time. Why is this background of information even necessary in understanding lobbying? Because allowing lobbying, which finds an opportunity to bribe and influence lawmakers into proposing and pushing for certain laws, the chaos further ensues, which then requires for an effort to either be sustained or corrected. If the policy is just plain terrible or unacceptable by population, government itself, or industry, then an effort is made to remove it, which requires labor force to produce the output of the effort. I know that now you can see how all this knowledge falls into place. Allowing for lobbying gives buying power to those who want certain changes proposed. The companies and the powerful individuals who want an attempt to shift policy in a certain direction must pay to play. Find a reputable player to make an attempt in initiating a change or addition in policy, and then the effort is executed. This establishes another entry point for a pay-to-play game. Remember when I told you before that business and regulations are set in a format where the players have to pay to play and get their business approved to operate? You thought it was one-time deal and you're done? Not at all. If you're conscious and are smart enough, then you know that such position is just the beginning. Whatever policies found in place that make things difficult for you, you must find a player to help you shift that policy or create better alternative routes for you. There may be instances that players will tell you that what you're asking is not doable, but it is worth a shot. Top professionals know that the only stupid question is the one unasked because you assume to know the answers. Never make assumptions. There's no heavier way to hold your power than assuming you know something when you don't. Even when you're 99% sure, ask someone who knows more than you do and take care of the 1% doubt. Powerful heroes and tyrants don't make assumptions that they know everything or that they are untouchable. These people are actually more grounded in reality, and those who are not usually don't last long in power. The chaos the lobbying creates does not go unnoticed. Don't you think people know that there is a level of corruption going on there? They do. They know deep down that someone out there trying to change or establish a policy is giving a cut to someone, and that someone is getting greedy and doing things in a sloppy way. We know that the leaders in politics are humans too, and although many will say, I would never do that, my response is shut the hell up. You know you would. These moralistic chronic complainers tend to be worse. They get a supervisor job at a food packaging plant and they become the biggest tyrant in the whole plant, making everyone around them to live in a nightmare. They monitor breaks by the second, count how many times you go to the bathroom, and even cringe at how slow you eat. How is it any of their business how often you have a bowel movement? They know nothing of what truly is going on in the world and think that something such as the process of lobbying exists simply because it just showed up there. They think that by complaining on social media and getting comments saying like, yes, me too, we all want that over, they only benefit the rich, they make any difference. They go into their feelings, and after letting it out, they feel better because a few people online agree with them. They know nothing of how power truly works, and very likely they will never taste the true essence of power because they don't have the skills to handle it. Their barbaric, over-controlling behavior at the food packaging plants says it all. I am bringing that personality archetype because they exist. If that is you, realize it, sit with it even if it makes you uncomfortable, and let your basic self not be the one dictating your life anymore. That's how you make a shift away from your own ignorance. You see, Srini Sagadara Maharaj once said that there is only one disease of the soul, and that is knowingness. He refused to call it ignorance because the concept is so grossly misunderstood that it has led people in the wrong path. Ignorance is associated with not knowing something or a process, but it is much more serious than that. Listen to the word. To be ignorant is to ignore something and be completely intentionally oblivious and unbiased about something. The term knowingness goes much farther because it is the idea of not knowing something and assuming that you do even if you don't have all the information. You take a piece of knowledge that you're not sure about and you act like you know even though you don't have enough information to make a decision. This is the true disease of the soul because, as Maharaj said, if you think you know, you probably don't. This is why the very first thing that we like to teach is that you must learn and understand is that not everything that you're told is true. This sets the stage for your skeptic self to kick in and say, is that really so? What do we truly know about that? And what has not been told or been addressed? By asking this question, the stage for inquiry is initiated. This is when and where you know that lobbying and other entry points of power are there to serve a reason. They are there to provide a service to those who can afford it. It is no different than a powerful lawyer who's specializing in maximizing auto injury lawsuits. He knows that insurance companies have a lot of money and that he will make every effort to get the best deal for their clients because that means him getting paid well. Same with a family lawyer who's helping a client file a divorce lawsuit. The soon-to-be ex-husband built his multi-million-dollar company during marriage. The lawyer, he doesn't care that he had the blueprint and all the plans before the marriage. If a legal document points to his allegation that it was established and profited during the marriage, it likely becomes marital property and he must give up half. They go as far as to help the person who can afford the best defense strategy. Going for a long case? No problem. If you have the money, the potential custody of the children is for sale. There are many factors that depend on the character, reputation, and response from the clients that can affect the custody, but the attorney's experience and his connections can make a great difference. People tend to think that a process is just there to be there and that it is just part of the status quo. The fact is that any and every process in existence was put in place for a particular reason and to serve to one level or another. The rich and the powerful tend to benefit more because they can afford these processes that will make their lives easier. For example, a rich and powerful company is more likely to afford lobbying services so that they can choose an easier route to the production of a particular product, being able to import it, or being able to dispose of toxic waste in a more cost-effective manner. A small company owned by mom and dad are much less likely to be able to afford a lobbying service to change some policies so that they can make a bit more of a profit to feed their children. If it sounds unfair, it's because it is. Welcome to the real world. I hate to tell you this, but there's no real justice as you wish it to be, or as the majority describe it. The truth is, and I am sure that you have seen it too, but the truth is that those who can afford the elite lawyer and build the best case will be those who win or avoid prosecution. A poor fool who makes a mistake but can't afford a decent attorney will be likely to end up prosecuted or in probation, to where if he had a decent lawyer, the case may have been dismissed. We know this too well, and there are documentaries to prove it. There is one where it shows all the wrongdoings of Purdue Pharmaceutical, and another one that shows the wrongdoings of Johns Hopkins Hospital with their false accusations of child maltreatment, where even a mom is no longer with us because she lost custody of her child. She couldn't go anymore and chose a very devastating route that left her family broken. Is that what you call justice? There's no isolated cases. We see so much of it, and if you visit the Innocence Project webpage, you can clearly see the patterns of injustices. Look back at the incarceration of Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. Those incarcerations were legal according to the law of the time, but were they a sign of justice or injustice? You gotta ask yourself that question and really dwell in the answer. Read the book, The Cadaver King and the Country Dentist, which is a story where two so-called forensic experts set the stage using fake forensic science to imprison innocent people. This went on all the way to 1996. Some of the cases were exonerated, but many weren't due to the evidence being destroyed. Is this what you would call justice? The reason that I'm bringing this up is so that you understand how systems work and how many of them, such as lobbying, exist to serve a purpose which is for sale for those who can afford it. Justice has nothing to do with this. I want you to no longer be ignorant of that. Power in itself just is. It is a movement, an ability to be able to do something. People are the ones who use power for either a beneficial cause or a damaging cause. In a way, nearly everyone who uses power thinks that they are benefiting in some way. Even those who rob a store and end up doing heavy time thought that it was beneficial to check what wasn't theirs. It was great having you here. I hope that you'll continue in our case study segments, which will help you further your studies of what has been covered. This is not the end of your learning or of our teaching. This is just the ending of a great learning series. We will miss it greatly, and you will enjoy Freedom 320. The most interesting aspect of life is that which is on the surface, but you can't see it because you have been distracted from it. It is like open source intelligence. It is in the open for you to see, except now you can see it. This is the beginning of your freedom. Until next time.